Medicare annual enrollment period is upon us, and Don Rice, the AZMedicareGuy, is here to give us the 411 on what we need to know. And Don, this is the thing. I was just asking you, who gets Medicare?
Well, Brad, first of all, thanks for having me back. It was great the first time. Basically, anyone who's turning 65 is eligible for Medicare benefits. If they're on an employer group health plan and they're over the age of 65, when they leave that employer group, they're eligible to go on to Medicare without worrying about any penalties, because that's credible coverage.
Got it.
Also, anyone who may be under the age of 65 who's been on disability for 24 months, or there's certain health criteria where people can get Medicare through Social Security.
Got it. Okay. So let's talk about open enrollment happening, because you were just here and we were gearing up, we were kind of talking, you need to get ready. Now you really get ready, and there's some new stuff that people need to know about it.
Well, you're exactly right, and it's annual enrollment period, not the open enrollment period.
Okay.
Terminology is everything with this. So right now, October 15th starts the annual enrollment period for anyone who's already been on Medicare.
Got it. And
during this time frame, they can make any changes they choose, and the time frame is October 15th through December 7th.
Got it. Stop right there, because Don, I want you to repeat that, because something's very important. You said there's open enrollment and there's annual, right?
Correct.
Right.
Annual enrollment is what we're in as of October 15th.
Okay. What's the other one?
Open enrollment comes in January, which is actually called the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period.
Okay.
And that's where people can make one last change with a couple, certain criteria.
Okay.
But from October 15th to December 7th, it's the annual enrollment period. Anyone on Medicare can make any changes they like, as many as they like, and then whatever goes in last by December 7th, that is what's going to take effect on January 1st.
Got it. Now, sound kind of confusing, but that's why we have you here, and that's why people need to talk with you, which is so important, because one, scammers are calling right now. They're out, they're scamming, they're telling you, hey, you know what, why don't you give me your Social Security and give me a $50 gift card at Walmart, and I'm going to make sure that you got the right health care. And then all of a sudden, they have nothing.
You're exactly right. And right now, I have clients calling me who go to the doctor or emergency room, and they say, Don, they didn't take my insurance. And I find out they were on a phone call with either someone called in or they called a toll-free number on TV, and they got switched and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
So what's going on is crazy. And with that being said, CMS, which is Medicare, is coming down with new guidelines for us as agents or brokers or third-party marketing offices, where we have to record every single call. So this just came down within the past few weeks. So if you're out there listening and you're on Medicare, if you're going to be talking to an agent, your own agent or an agent or broker, be prepared to be prefaced to have the phone call recorded.
Yeah, very important there. You said something about, of course, making sure things are right. How do we avoid those scams? And this is one I want to mention too, that people need to really pay attention when you go onto the website and you type in Medicare. You have those advertising that pop up first. And it happened to me with even going to the government to do some tax stuff and everything. It popped up, it wasn't even the right place. And I started to put information in because I thought it looked all perfect and everything. That's also something we need to look out for, right?
If they're going to be doing any Google searches for Medicare and they pull up a website, you want to make sure in the browser bar it says .gov. So if you're on a Medicare.gov or SSA.gov, those are governmental websites. So you're on the right link for information.
Okay.
What I live by is always call your agent first. If you hear something on TV that sounds good, call your agent first, because if you call the toll-free numbers or answer the toll-free numbers that are coming in, you don't know who you're talking to, you don't know where they are, and you'll never get that person back on the phone. If you do make a switch without even knowing it, you don't know who to call to get back.
Yeah. Okay, what are some things we need to watch out when we are switching?
When you aren't switching, there's a lot of variations, so it just depends on what plan they have, if they're happy with it, if they're not happy with it, but if there's changes in their medications, if they have changes in their doctors, if there's some financial situations where it's like, okay, I can't afford this anymore, I need to look. So word of advice is always call a local broker or agent. Use your referral system. If your friend has their own agent, call them. Obviously, if you don't have an agent, you can always call me. AZ Medicare Guy.
That's AZMedicareGuy, and .com is where you go to get a hold of Don and talk with him. You see how friendly he is. You're talking with us through this, and that's what you're there. You're to walk through people because, again, you don't want to see people get scammed, and you want to make sure they're getting the right health care going forward, and especially this time. Let me ask you, I know we got to wrap up, let me just ask you, if you don't go in and do anything to your plan, are you okay, or do you need to go in there and say yes or no or anything?
No, if they do absolutely nothing, everything will just stay in place on the first of the year.
That's important.
And
right
just
there.
don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till December 14th to figure out you need to call somebody.
Yeah. You can call Don Rice, that's right there, AZMedicareGuy.com. All right?
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Don, coming in. All right, we got more mix coming up right after this.